Hey there, welcome to another Let's Meet. Today we're gonna know everything about Michael de Santa, one of the three protagonists of Grand Theft Auto 5. Let's discover more about him. Michael was born in either 1965 or 1968, possibly in the Midwest, which would explain why he spent some of his earlier criminal career in North Yankton. As a child, he didn't have the advantages his children have and grew up in poor environments of a trailer park with his parents. Like Trevor and Franklin, Michael had a tough upbringing due to his father being an alcoholic and physically abusing him. Michael's father soon abandoned him and his mother. During his time in high school, Michael was an acclaimed quarterback for an all-state football team. He would often put on a well-placed performance during games and occasionally add his picture in the local newspaper, but his temperament issues and the constant stream of injuries has forced him to quit. As a young adult, Michael became a criminal. According to him, Michael had been in prison twice by the age of 20. His first robbery was in Carcer City, where he managed to steal $10,000 from a small franchise. While in prison, Michael learned many skills, including how to use a tattoo gun by tattooing his name on his cellmate's buttocks. During this time, he associated himself with Lester, who would later assist Michael in planning out heists and other tasks. Michael met Trevor while he was escorting a cargo across the border in 1993. After noticing how well they work with each other, Michael brought Trevor along as a partner for various crimes. They were both successful at their profession, but they were constantly on the run from the law, as Trevor's rage issues would cause him to murder someone in broad daylight, and Michael's distinctive style of citing movie quotes from Solomon Richards, thus drawing attention, would cause him and Trevor to skip town after completing a job. Michael met his future wife Amanda while she was a stripper. After flirting with each other, the couple started a romantic relationship. Michael was then able to buy Amanda some breast implants, which would help her stripping as well as her days as a prostitute. This led to Michael's creating his own prostitution racket. After a few months dating, Amanda became pregnant with their two children, Jimmy and Tracy, while living in a trailer park in the Midwest. A few months later, they were married and Michael started to slow down the criminal life. At some point in 2004, Michael met FIB agent Dave Norton. Michael made a deal with the FIB to surrender Trevor and Brad, a fellow robber, in exchange for protection. Norton would provide Michael a five-figure payment every month, a new identity, and a home for him and his family in Los Santos. In the deal, Michael would let Norton kill him in the upcoming bank heist, a move that would make Norton's career as the agent who took down the supposed most wanted man in America. The staged robbery, however, turned out to be a disaster after Trevor murdered a guard who held Michael at gunpoint, and when Michael, Brad, and Trevor were ambushed by over a dozen police officers ready to arrest or kill them. Things yet again deviated from their plan when Brad was accidentally shot by Norton. Michael took the second bullet as planned, although he was wearing a bulletproof vest and acted as he believed the wound was fatal, imploring Trevor to leave him behind. Trevor, enraged, proceeded to massacre numerous police officers before escaping. After the incident, Michael was declared dead, while Brad was assumed to have been sent to prison. In reality, Brad was killed by Dave's shot and was buried in Michael's grave in Ludendorff. Michael then has gone to Los Santos, where he entered an informal witness protection program. Michael and his family moved out to a mansion in Roxford Hills, where they lived using the surname De Santa. Lester knew about the deal, but both men agreed not to disclose information on the other to the authorities and moved out as well to Los Santos, eventually settling in Murrieta Heights. Michael's life in Los Santos has slowly turned into a living nightmare. He has become massively depressed about having to abandon his criminal life to be a family man that he once believed he desired. He now spends his days by getting drunk to dull the depression and miserably lounging by his pool, ignoring his family and becoming extremely narcissistic on the process. His children has no respect for him, and his marriage also began to deteriorate. Eventually, Michael goes through a midlife crisis and began visiting an overpriced psychologist who doesn't care about his problems at all. Michael is a Caucasian male aged either 45 or 48 with grayish-black hair and light green eyes. Michael is of heavy build with 188 centimeters tall and weighs 95 kilograms. On official artwork, Michael have blue eyes, a Lexington hairstyle and a short stubble around his face. It can appear, but Michael isn't obese or out of shape, although people around him occasionally makes fun of his large midsection. Michael's movements are also much more slower than Franklin and Trevor's, as he is much older, and on top of the fact that his 10-year retirement from crime has forced him to not be as physically active as the other two. Trevor said once to Lamar that when we met Michael he was kind of fat but strong underneath. Michael's default wardrobe sets him with grey two-piece suit without tie and casual attires like beach shorts with sandals or polo shirts. On an interesting fact, he shows approval as he's trying out outfits at sponsor buys, opposite to the clear disdain of buying items from Suburban or Binco. Michael can be seen much older on the first and second trailer. This was changed later to make him look like he wasn't that old to perform some of things he will do during gameplay. Michael is a very muddled person, even confused by his good and evil personality. He spends a big amount of time inside his head, where he can comfortably think about certain aspects that give him a brief moment of nostalgia from his glory days. Michael has also an obsession for materialistic appearances, making it the main reason for why he's dreamt of living out his Vinewood dream with his family. He even claims to Franklin that he has lived a repeated pattern of chase things, get them, hate them. His self-hatred gives him an exceptionally short temper that he doesn't know how to control, which fills him with rage and causes him to not think straight. Sarcasm is something that Michael firmly grasps because of the self-hatred, as he doesn't know how to respond to his family or friends, and he claims that sarcasm is one of the only few things that he has left in this world that can't be taken away from him. Michael is a highly egotistical and narcissistic person. He often displays remarkable hypocrisy. He often scolds people around him for their mistakes and habits when he does the same, if not sometimes worse. As an example, he criticized Jimmy for being all day in front of the TV, playing video games and eating profusely despite the fact he does almost the same thing. Despite all of the negatives, Michael does possess a good side to his personality. He is a very considerate individual as he paid Franklin and drove to the front of his boss's business, even though the latter broke into Michael's mansion. Despite all the problems with his family, he dearly loves them but is frequently angered with Tracy's social life, Jimmy being jobless, lazy, and a video game addict, and Amanda spending most of his money and cheating on him. However, after reuniting with his family, their problems slowly started to dissolve. It should also be noted that it's very clear that Michael cares for his friends more than he shows. If you choose to kill Trevor in the end, Michael will stop hanging out with Franklin because he is devastated by Trevor's death. Otherwise, if you choose to kill Michael, his extremely aggressive behavior towards Franklin shows that he loved him as a friend and can't believe Franklin didn't feel the same. Michael is the opposite of Trevor, being rational when it comes to crime. This makes the others leave him to the planning and leading of robberies and missions, as he is usually the one to come up with a plan to a heist alongside Lester. He also shows consideration for people caught up in robberies. An example is that if you choose to pose as guards for the Union Depository heist, he'll give the guard he blackmailed a bar of gold for helping them get past security. Michael will also always put his family's safety above anything else, going as far as to make a moral compromise with the FIB to ensure his family was not in danger. This is finally reciprocated by Amanda towards the end of the game, at which time she makes him promise not to get killed. Michael has also started to work on his anger issues when his family came back and can be seen showing a great amount of regret due to the decisions he's made, becoming more truthful and open. Michael's special ability is called Area Kill. While active, Michael enters a bullet time-like effect, allowing him to slow time and gain the advantage in shootouts. This special skill lasts for 30 seconds maximum. This ability might be a reference to Max Payne, where the main character possesses an ability called Bullet Time that allows him to slow down time. Michael even has the same grey suit that Max wears in Max Payne 3. Just like Franklin and Trevor, Michael has received a very positive response from critics and fans of the series, as he was the first protagonist in the Grand Theft Auto series to have family. Michael to me is... who is he? I know who he is, I'm just trying to... He's a person who is trying to ignore some rather large mistakes that they have made. The person who's trying to forget about certain practical but still selfish decisions that they took. He is a man also obsessed by images and by appearance, and who, when the world doesn't live up to those images and appearances, doesn't know what to do. He just retreats into his head, what he also is when we started out, what the kind of evolved into as we began thinking about him and developing him. He was the first character we came up with. He began as the idea of what happens to a regular GTA protagonist after they retire. Then you think, what would make him retire? He's a man with a big ego and plenty of good values and plenty of bad values. A guy who is in his mid-40s and on the cusp of middle age, who doesn't know what to do, but made a bunch of money and does not know what to do with it. He's theoretically won, but the spoils of victory aren't necessarily what he imagined. For us, that's a very interesting character, unlike what we've done in the past or what we've seen in much entertainment in general, let alone any video games. That was interesting.
Let's do best of 3, okay? Sounds like a plan. You should get some help with that personality of yours. Hey, no more of that! God, I gotta learn to fly. Oh, what is this, a funeral procession? Hello. I had fun just now, and that's me done. You know what? I'm done. Ah, bullshit. Olden but golden. That's right. Why are you still breathing? Don't fuck this up. For your own sake. You don't have many friends, do you, pal? Hey. Seems kind of interesting, maybe. You good with best of three? You know what? You should see a doctor for that shit. I don't believe it. There you go. And I've managed not to paralyze myself. Whoa. You have a fucking clue who you're fucking with? Ah, for fuck's sake. Ah, hell. Now that was nice. Ah, shit. You can't put a price on self-actualization. Actually, you can. And I'm paying it. Well done.
His favorite radio stations are Los Santos Rock Radio, Vinewood Boulevard Radio, and Radio Mirror Park. The quote that Michael uses in Prologue and the Jewel Store Job.
You forget 1,000 things every day, pal. Make sure this is one of them.
Is from the Solomon Richards movie Arthur Penny's Sanatorium, although slightly modified. The original line is, "We forgot 1,000 things every day, can't we just make this one of them?" Through the game, Michael displays a contempt for yoga instructors who he calls yogis. Coincidentally, his voice and motion capture performer, Ned Luke, is married to a yoga instructor. Michael's signature color is blue. The reason for this is because it is the favorite color of Ned Luke, Michael's voice and motion capture actor. The selection of the protagonist's signature colors may also be a reflection of the characters' personalities. Blue is the color of control and negative emotions, reflecting Michael's struggles with his psychotic tendencies, his leadership in heists, and being the patriarch of the DeSanta family. When someone talks to Michael on his right side, he shifts his body right toward that person. This is because in real life, Ned Luke, his voice and motion capture actor, is deaf in his right ear. Michael also sleeps for the shortest time of the three characters. When saving the game with Michael, the game skips ahead 6 hours. Franklin sleeps for 8 hours while Trevor sleeps for 12. During the time that he lives alone after his family moved out, one of his switch scenes shows him waking up, screaming and pointing an imaginary gun around. He may possibly suffer from nightmares, which could explain his short sleeping time compared to the others. Of all three protagonists, Michael is the only one who cannot choose to buy or wear any hats. He also can switch his shoes in his mansion. This might be a reflection of Michael's personality and expensive taste for clothing. Following the release of the first trailer, there was widespread speculation that Michael was in fact Tommy Vercetti rebooted into the HD universe due to similarities. That's it, we hope you know more about Michael now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to see more videos, it's free! Do you know more about Franklin and Trevor? Let us know in the comments section below and we see you on the next video. Bye bye!